Time for this to change. Good morning. This is Florida Plant Mama coming to you from Zone 9B, Central Florida. And after filming the herb/medicinal garden, I decided that the flower bed area was starting to look a little bit tattered. And immediately it had to be fixed. It was overgrown. The zinnias were starting to dry out, and there were a ton of weeds in there that I could not get to because there is no real access to that flower area. So the OCD got the better of me, and it had to be fixed immediately. So you saw the progress on day one. This is day two of my little project. We still got a little bit more to do. 3 posts have been moved. The nice thing about this fence is that it can be adjusted pretty quickly. Just move the T-posts and tie up some fishing wire and you're all set. I eliminated this metal mesh from the inner part of the flower bed, so I now have access from inside my garden to this flower bed area. As you can see, it is now a blank slate. Let the planting begin. All right, so before it was a bushy mess, and after I got in here, I realized just how bad it was. Almost everything had to go. There were so many weeds hidden amongst the zinnias. I thought that by planting the zinnias densely, I wouldn't have to worry about so many weeds. I was wrong. They found their way in, especially since I did not have the soil covered with any kind of mulch. And again, I didn't do that because the flowers were planted so densely that I thought that they would kind of snuff out all the weeds below. But the weeds just kind of grew right alongside them. Now, as you can see, to my delight, this metal arch cattle panel arbor structure is visible and it is open for traffic. We have a good throughway here. I moved the mulberry tree that was almost directly in the front of it, nearly killed me. I dug it out for about an hour and a half yesterday. And there it is. Hopefully, it'll survive the stress of this transition. But if it doesn't, I don't feel horribly. There it is. I trimmed it down significantly, dug it up, and replanted it in this area. Along with it came some of the basil, holy basil, that was planted nearby that I also needed a home for. Looks much better, in my opinion. I can think now. It doesn't feel so cluttered anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and walk the inside so that you can see the difference as well. For reference, here we are. Here's the door. Turning right. Medicinal garden here. Okay. I also gave this mulberry tree a nice trim. It wasn't producing as well as I would like, and it was getting a little bit overgrown. Chopping it during the growing season stresses it out just enough that it should push up new growth, and with it hopefully will come more mulberries. Okay, so here we go. Here is that archway. Okay, this cucumber is definitely on its last leg. It's going to get pulled today. I decided to bury some plastic pots here because as I was trenching the area, I realized that I've got mole tunnels right here, and they were disrupting the roots of some of those plants, and hence the reason why my cucumbers probably didn't do so great this season in this area. So these pots are meant to protect my plant roots and hopefully deter the mold from digging in here. I got one transplanted cucamelon that I dug up and put in this pot. It looks good. Hopefully it will continue to grow and I can trellis it on this canal panel. So we got the butterfly pea, and look at that. It's a nice path. Much better. There's the queen's wreath. Pardon the sun. There we go. Come out. Plan to make just a little walking path right here, and on either side of the walking path will be plantings. Tidy everything up, trim back these roses. I thought I was going to have to move this rose bush, but the only one that took the hit was the mulberry. So definitely much more satisfied with this layout. And evil me. I managed to expand without even planning it. Honestly, I didn't plan this expansion, but it took me on a whim, and I just could not sleep until the job was complete. Now we still got 2 more of the T-posts to put on the outside so that I can secure the outer edge of this area. So the old ball and chain came out and did me a solid. He went ahead and put in the last 2 posts, and I've got the fishing wire securing the area. Looks good, doesn't it? There we go. Compost bins, periphery, mulberry trimmings stacked here, using them as a chop and drop for this area to keep the grass away from the edges there. I usually pile this area up with mulch as well because the armadillos like to come around and dig. They're desperately trying to get underneath the fencing, this wire mesh galvanized fencing. I've got it buried underground, probably about 3 or 4 inches to prevent the tunneling underneath. Doesn't stop the moles. I'm trying to convince the hubby to let me get a kitty cat, let it roam the garden, mark a little bit hopefully, and eliminate those blasted moles that keep digging tunnels in my garden. Have yet to catch one. Haven't really done anything preventative except for bury the plastic pots to protect the roots of the more delicate plants. The trees are kind of fending for themselves. Then I've got some agave in the spaces along with some Shasta daisy that haven't started blooming yet. And what are these things called here? But this flower, it's beautiful when it's blooming, but oh, they are the ugliest things when the flowers die and all you see is dried little spokes sticking out from the ground. And sometimes if the ground is too fertilized, they'll grow a huge stalk and not flower. And these marigolds, they're not the French marigolds. I just read recently that the French marigolds are the ones that are supposed to be insect deterrents. I don't have any French marigolds. It's a good reason to get some though. I'll test the theory. We've been doing a lot of touring of the garden, and off camera I've still had to do the regular maintenance, the weeding, and my favorite part, the harvesting. This is just an image of what I collected today. Not too shabby, just a small harvest. I've got some cayenne pepper, butterfly flower, blackberries, strawberry or mantinja. It's very sweet, tastes like cotton candy. This is the serrano peppers. It's a cubanelle pepper. Cherry tomatoes. This cherry tomato is really, really good. I think it may be a hybrid because it came as a volunteer, but the skin is thick and it's firm. It's not mushy and it crunches when you bite it, and it's very sweet. I gotta save seed so I can replant that. Hopefully it'll be true to seed. We've got a very hot Scotch bonnet pepper, Jimmy Nardello pepper, and feverfew. Cute, right? So, tell me what you think. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. It's a lot more trimming and weeding and planting to do. Thanks for watching.